Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Sealed for Good. I'm your host Shandy. Today I'll be joined by our very special guest Luke from Waterproofing Assurance to go through the day-to-day of a waterproofing inspector and the kind of things that they look for. Hope you enjoy. Hi Luke, thanks very much for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Do you want to start off just by telling us a bit about yourself?
G'day Shandy, my name's Luke. I'm from Waterproofing Assurance and I am the Compliance Field Technician for Melbourne.
So can you explain to everyone watching what a waterproofing inspection actually involves?
A waterproofing inspection involves two things. Well, it depends on the type of inspection that we've been required to conduct. If we are conducting a substrate inspection, we will check the falls, we will check the quality of the substrate and make sure that it's cleaned appropriately prior to any membrane or priming applications. If we are conducted to inspect a finished, say, wet area, bathroom, we would make sure that we have the right dry film thickness, water stops are in the correct location, which unfortunately that doesn't happen too often. We would also check penetrations and any termination points. We're making sure that the product has been applied as the manufacturer has intended it to be applied at, and that it is compliant with the National Construction Code and the Australian standards.
Since you touched on the topic, Luke, could you maybe explain a little bit more of what the National Construction Code is in terms of waterproofing and maybe a little brief about the Australian standards?
So the NCC and the Australian Construction Code are a set of guidelines to create a habitable space or any building really to make it safe and habitable for the people that are going to be using it. They are not the high standard or quality of rules or guidelines. That's where you have best practice or better practice, as people will say, than what the standards and the National Construction Code state. Once again, they just outlay the bare minimum to make a safe and habitable dwelling.
So what are the main or the most common issues that you come across when you're conducting an inspection?
Most of the common issues we find when doing a inspection are, if it's a substrate inspection, incorrect falls, poor quality of the substrate, you have voids, you have steel sticking out, it just hasn't been treated properly. With a finished area, we find that it's application of the membrane. Generally, everyone knows how to apply a liquid membrane, for example, but not everyone gets the right dry film thickness, the right detailing around penetrations, or the right termination at a waste area. Unfortunately, water stops are a big one. We find that water stops are not installed correctly. They've got 30mm voids underneath them. A water stop is a physical barrier for water entering an adjacent area. It's just a physical stop.
So with those type of issues that you pick up on, does that mean that there'd be potentially a saving for the client by engaging a waterproofing inspector?
You won't realise a waterproofing inspection has saved you money until it's too late. That's where we get in early during the installation or the preparation of a substrate. It's too late when you already have a water leak and you go, oh, how can we fix this, because the damage has generally already been done.
So a waterproofing inspector, are they solely relying on the waterproofing technology? Is that all that sort of entails what a waterproofing inspector does?
Waterproofing technology is not all that an inspector's job is. A lot of the time we pick up faults or failures with a visual inspection, things like debris trapped in a membrane, poor substrate prep, dry film thickness and things like that. If you're not recording your own ITPs or during your application with a wet film thickness gauge, there is generally no real way to check the correct thickness has been applied to that for that application.
So Luke, do you ever get into many conflicts with waterproofing contractors and sort of those arguments of who's at fault?
What we get a lot from builders when we go, guys, this hasn't been installed correctly, and the builder's like, well, he's a waterproofer, he should know. I think the biggest thing for waterproofing is knowledge and understanding of the product and what it's applied, how it's meant to be applied and what it's intended for. Anyone can open a bucket and use a roller or a brush and apply a membrane, but not everyone understands that the difference between a 5mm bond breaker and a 13mm bond breaker will accommodate X amount of additional movement for a structure. You can't pin it on the waterproofer or just the builder. It's usually all parties involved. There's either a lack of communication, the builder is rushing people to install a bathroom or install a membrane, and the people don't want to lose their jobs. They want to look good and they want to get the job done. Unfortunately, hoping and wishing is not watertight.
So Luke, how can contractors, builders, even homeowners that watch this program what's the best way to get in contact with waterproofing assurance?
Just a quick Google search. Our office is located in Mount Waverley. You're more than welcome to find my contact and give me a call, or go to our website, which is waterproofingassurance.com.au.
So you guys active in social media as well, Luke?
Yes, we currently have a Instagram account. We have our LinkedIn accounts as well.
Thanks so much, Luke. Absolute pleasure having you on.
No worries, Shandy. Thanks for having me.
Thanks everyone for watching. If you want to find out a little bit more about the type of tools and apparatus that Luke uses for his inspections, please check out our waterproofing technology videos. Until next time, if you have any other ideas, or you want to have a chat further about waterproofing inspections, feel free to leave a comment. Send out an email to us. We get a lot of requests and a lot of correspondence that way as well. But until next time, thank you so much and happy waterproofing. Massive thank you to Precision Waterproofing for tagging us on this exceptional, another fantastic example of an installation of the PFN to a couple of balconies there. Fantastic view. Hope you enjoy your prize and happy waterproofing.